guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. How are you doing? So BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com is an American website with the biggest collection of chunky yarns for hand knitting. We're located in Holland, Michigan, so if you're local, we're happy to see you at our office. We don't have a storefront, but our office, we're always happy to see you here. So today I will be using our beautiful velvet yarn. And this is BeCozi Velvet Yarn, available only at our website, BeCozi.net. And I will be making this gorgeous tote bag. Here it is. So this is our lilac color, and this is our hot pink. So for this purse, you will need just one skein like that. It's a little bit over the 2 pounds. It's like 2.2 pounds. You can find it at BeCozi.net. I will put a link underneath. And then I will show you how to make it in just one piece. There is no sewing, there is no connecting. It's just one piece hand knitting tote. It's really beautiful. It's very unique. If you want to stand out of the crowd, that is your chance. So go to our website, grab this beautiful yarn, and make this beautiful tote. Okay, guys, so we will be using this beautiful BeCozi Velvet Yarn in lilac color. And the original purse, as I showed you, was made with our hot pink, very popular color. Look at this beautiful Tote. So you will need one skein like that. This is 2.2 pounds, and it will be enough to make that beautiful tote. So let's get started. Start with finding the end of the yarn. Then place the yarn in front of you like that. And this is the tail, this is working yarn. Working yarn goes on the top of the tail. You make a loop, insert your hand, then grab working yarn and pull it through the loop. You're holding these two pieces down and pulling the loop up. So you just made your first stitch. So we will keep it about 1 inch, maybe a little bit over 1 inch tall. So what are we doing now? Now we are inserting our hand inside the stitch. We're grabbing working yarn and pulling it out. We just made a second stitch, and this is the beginning of the chain that we will be casting on, and we will be casting on 8 stitches, guys. So 1, 2, insert your fingers, grab working yarn, 3, 4. Try to make the stitches about the same size, then the finished purse will look really nicely. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what are we doing now? So now we will be knitting these 8 stitches, the top part of the stitches over here. So we will place our yarn on the back of the cast on chain like that, and now let's knit. This is our first stitch. Insert your fingers, insert your hand, grab working yarn, make it small a little, grab working yarn, pull it out. This is our first stitch. Next stitch, we need 8 stitches, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the next stitch, the top part of the stitch. Insert your fingers, grab working yarn, pull it out. Next 6 stitches the same way. So we will pull out 8 stitches on the top of the chain. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now what are we doing? We are turning this on another side, working yarn on the back, and now we are pulling the same 8 stitches, only now we will be using these bottom parts of the chain, which now when we turned it, it's now top part again. So what are we doing here? This is our first stitch. So we're inserting fingers, grab working yarn, pull it out. So you will have a stitch across the chain for every stitch made. So here's the stitch we made on this side of the chain, and here is the stitch just across of it. Here is first, here is the second. 1, 2. So we will have 8 stitches pulled out, and that will be the bottom of the purse. So watch it, guys, for the last stitch. The last stitch actually will be done from the same stitch over here. See, this is the stitch. So insert your fingers, grab working yarn, and pull out stitch number 8. So now you can spread it out a little bit, and you will see very clearly that we have 8 stitches on each side. We're turning now on another side, and we're knitting these 8 stitches again. So try to knit these 2 stitches on the side close to each other. This way you will not have a big gap on the side of the purse or a tote. And keep knitting these 8 stitches around the chain, and we will be doing it, guys, for 7 rows. Okay, so the row number 1 was the pulled out row. Now we are turning, and this is, see, this is 1, 2, this is row number 2. So I will be knitting in this way for probably about 3-4 rows, and then because now we are knitting the simple knitting stitch, but on the outside over here it looks like the purl stitch, and we will be knitting this way for, let's say, 4 rows, because this way it's easier to knit it. See, the side stitches should be close to each other like that. And the smaller stitches you make, the smaller the tote will be, and the more yarn you will use. So if you want make a little bit bigger stitches, that's fine too. So you see what we're doing, and a good part about this pattern, guys, that this tote can be used on both sides. So it can be, let me show you. It can be used on this side, that's a knitted side, but if you wanna turn it inside out, then you can use it on the side of purl stitches. So it will look beautiful on both sides, so it will be reversible, which is really nice. It's like you have a new purse. Just reverse it. Okay, so this is our row number 3, and let's make one more, because you see it's kind of curling into the middle part when you're knitting it this way, and then when we churn it inside out, then it will be kind of trying to curl in the opposite direction. I will show what I mean when I'm done with this row. So I will also, let me show you what I will do with the end. Here we are. So this is our first stitch over here. So let's weave it in before we proceeded. So pull the top part of the yarn to the side, and then cut the inside part, the filling, and then pull it back. So now it's very soft here, and it's easy to tuck it in inside. This is inside part, guys. So anywhere on the bottom, just go back and forth, under and over, and here you go. You just hid that tail. Now back to the purse. So I will finish this row, and this will be row 1, 2, 3, 4. And after the row number 4, and you can keep doing it this way until you have all 7 rows. That's possible too, because it actually will be easier to do it this way. because it will not be curling if you turn it inside out after you have all 7 rows. Okay, so but we will try to do it now when we have only 4. So this is inside part, and we are turning it to the other side. Here we are. So now we kind of need to push it all together, that the knitting part would be on the top, and here our last stitch, and we will keep now knitting on this side. And again, as I said, we will have 7 rows, guys. So here we are. This is our row number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's easy to count the rows when you are counting this big ginormous stitches. So we knitted this part. Now flip it on another side, unwind more yarn, and you can kind of spread out these huge stitches, and now keep knitting this side of the tote. So that's what you will be doing for 2 more rows. This is row number 5. So 2 more rows, and I will make 2 more rows. Again, see, you're flipping on another side. So I will make 2 more rows, and I will come back. Ready? Okay, guys, so we made 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're turning it on another side. Let's have, make sure we have 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 on both sides. What are we doing now? We are knitting first 3 stitches of 8 row number 8. 1, 2, 3. So now we will be casting off next a few stitches. So how we will do it? We will knit next stitch. This is 3 sitting here, stitch number 4. We knit it, make it a little bit bigger than this guy. Now knit the next stitch and make it a little bit smaller, because this guy will go on the top. Okay, so see, this one's smaller, this one's bigger. So this one goes on the top. So we just cast off 1 stitch. So we are doing it one more time. So this stitch is a little bit bigger, then knit next stitch, and this bigger stitch goes on the top. Here we are. So we now have 2 stitches cast off in the middle. We have 3 stitches here, and we have 3 stitches on this side. So what we are doing, we're keeping the stitch open, and then we're knitting next stitch 1 and 2. And this way we have 3, 3, and opening here. Okay? Now, going on the other side and doing exactly the same. So we're knitting first 3, 1, 2, 3. For the next stitch, we are knitting it a little bit bigger than this one, and then we are knitting the next a little bit smaller, and this bigger one goes on the top. Make this one a little bit bigger again. Next one is smaller, and bigger one goes on the top. Here we are. 3 here, we cast off 2, and we now have 1, 2, 3. So make it a smaller now, and then knit this 2. 1 and 2. So as you see, we made it the same on both sides. 3, 3, and opening here, and then the same here. 3, 3, and opening here. What are we doing next? So we're knitting this first stitch a little bit bigger, then we're knitting the next one a little bit smaller, and this bigger one goes on the top. So we are casting off. Okay, guys? So now the same here. We are knitting this one smaller, and this big one goes on the top. Here we are. We just cast off, cast it off this part. So what are we doing now, guys? We need to close this gap, and to close it, we are using the very end of our yarn. We're not cutting anything. We are just finding the end of it. And this end of the yarn goes underneath this two. See this stitch here. So insert it and then pull. Pull the whole length because that's a big piece. But this is the piece that we will be using to finish the whole bag. Okay, here we are. Here we are. See, we created half of the stitch here, and now we need to create this part over here to close that gap. So again, find the end of the yarn. Here we are. And now see the stitch? See these two parts of the back? So we are inserting our end underneath these two. And then pull. Then pull again until the yarn will connect that gap in a beautiful extra stitch. Here we are. See, we connected it. And what are we doing now? So we have the stitch here and working yarn. We are inserting our hand and we are making next stitch. So we are, from this beautiful chain, we are making the handle. So we will be making 10 stitches, guys. You can make longer. If you want to make it longer, you can make it longer. But I'm showing you how to use that one skein that you would have enough yarn. So we're making 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Literally casting on. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Here we are. We have a handle. Here we are. Again, you can make it longer if you want, but I'm showing you how to make it with one skein. Again, so how to connect this to this. So here's the stitch, the last stitch here, and working yarn. Insert working yarn inside this stitch here. Insert your fingers and grab working yarn and create a stitch. So we now have 2 stitches. See, one sticking out here and one here. So the bottom stitch is now going inside the top, like that. Here we are. We just connected the handle. So what are we doing here? We are making a small, we're making this stitch a little bit bigger, and next stitch over here on the purse, we're making smaller, and then big stitch goes on the top. We're kind of casting off. Here we are. See how beautiful it looks? And then we're doing the same here. This one is bigger, this one should be smaller, and bigger is going on the top of the small one. So we just finished the top of our purse on this side, guys. Now turn on another side and we will do exactly the same. So here we are. We will be casting off. So we have the stitch, make a smaller stitch, and then this stitch goes on the top. Make a bit bigger. This is a smaller stitch, and a big one goes on the top. And that do the same with this guy. Smaller stitch and big one goes on the top. So see this beautiful chain that goes all the way around? And now we're doing the same here to close this gap, okay? So take the end of the yarn here and insert it. See these 2 stitches that we casted off? This end goes underneath over here, like that. Here we are. And then pull the yarn through all the way. Here we go. We create this one extra stitch or half of it. And now find the end again. And now the same way as in the opposite side, see the stitch and these two parts on the back. So insert your fingers, grab this end, and pull it through these two. And then pull, pull, pull until you create this beautiful stitch over here to close the gap. Now, we have the stitch and we have yarn, and now we're creating a handle. The same way, insert your finger, grab working yarn, pull it out. Simple casting on way. Again, 10 stitches, guys. Again, if you want to make it a little bit longer, you might, because I assume I will have some yarn left, but not too risky that I would have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we are. We have another handle. And we are connecting it in the same way, guys, okay? So we have a few stitches left here. Find the end of the yarn, put it here. Now, here we are. Here is the stitch here, and here is the stitch here. See these two stitches? Take the working yarn and pull it through this stitch on the bottom. Insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. See, now you have two stitches, and the bottom stitch goes inside the top one, like that. Here we are. Now, this stitch is a little bit bigger, and this stitch we will need and make it a little bit smaller. So big stitch is going on the top, and we just cast that off. The same here, we have bigger stitch and smaller stitch. Big one goes on the top, and we just finished our second part. See, look at this beautiful purse or tote. Okay, so now we need to finish this side, guys. We need to make it looking nice here. So let me show how to do it. I will put it like that you would see well. So we have this stitch here. So what are we doing? We're finding the end of the yarn and we're pulling it through this last stitch. So insert it here and then pull, 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 pull until it's all the way here. What we're doing now, take the end. See this gap, we need to close it. Go underneath these two stitches from the bottom. Insert your yarn, pull it through, and here we are. We just created beautiful part of the stitch to close the gap. What are we doing now? We are inserting this end inside this stitch, but make sure that you are grabbing this part of the stitch, the back part, okay? So not just here, but all the way through two pieces. So this is the chain, and you're going inside, but don't forget to include this. So end is going here, and then you pull. Here we are. Look at this beautiful ending on the side. So now I actually have some yarn left, but what you can do, you can cut the yarn, and then the same way as we did on the bottom, pull the outside part of the yarn and then cut the filling part, pull the yarn back, and then go inside the purse and insert or weave in this end, okay? So you're just simply going underneath stitches here, hiding that end. Here we are. So we just hit it nicely. The purse is ready. You can use it on both sides. This is the inside part. This is outside. Look at this beautiful bag. Here we are, guys. We are ready. So one skein of BeCozi Velvet Yarn. I will put the link underneath the video. Just click on the link, go to our website, grab this beautiful yarn and make this purse that nobody else will have. And you will make it yourself. So we have a few beautiful colors. So this beautiful hot pink and lilac, beautiful colors. We have other colors available. Again, go to the link underneath the video, click on it. This yarn available only at BeCozi.com or BeCozi.net. Stay warm and be cozy. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. I would like to introduce my hand knitting book. The book was published in September 21, and recently it was also published with the Christian Publishing Agency. It's available on our website and also available on Amazon. This is the only book on hand knitting on the craft market. It's extremely unique and very beautiful book explaining hand knitting, giving you a history of our company, how hand knitting was born, and then it also gives you a few patterns, simple patterns with a very detailed pictures how to make every single step on the way. Go to the link underneath this video and purchase this book, and let's hand knit.